Hey guys, it's Theme Park Tycoon and welcome back to another Roblox Theme Park Tycoon 2 video. Now in this video, as you already know, I'm going to be showing you how to get the Explore the World with Swans achievement. Now, this achievement, if I can scroll down and find it, will unlock the Water Alterator, which can globally change the color of water in your park. And the way you get it is by building a Swan ride, the Swan boats ride all the way around your park. Now, this achievement is far easier with disable collisions, which I do have, but I am going to be showing you how to get it without disable collisions. I'm going to be ticking this little box here to turn off disable collisions, but with disable collisions, you can place a Swan boats ride on land. You can make it go over air. You can make it go through other rides. So if you have the Game Pass, this will be far easier for you since you do not have to worry about water and you only have to build the ride. But if you do not have the Game Pass, this is what this guide will help you the most with. Now, the way you do this is you need to build it all around the perimeter of your park. It can't be on this very edge block here, this one right here. It must be on this one, and the reason for that is very simple. For example, if I try to dig down one block, and then I try to fill that with water, it says cannot add water at the map boundaries. Did you create a hole? And if you place it up here, it says cannot add water at the map boundaries. Did you create a hole? But you can't place it at the map boundaries. I'm assuming that is because this, for some reason, does not count as a wall or may not count as a solid wall. So the game will not let you place water here since that could lead to glitches or flooding, something else. Who knows? But if you dig it one block in, as you can see, you can place water, which is amazing. Now, what I'm going to be showing you is where to build this, how to get around some certain things like rides in the way, things like this in the way. So I am going to be ticking this box right now, and I am going to start on how to do this. So you're going to want to obviously start by digging out a little path, again, one block in. I would recommend starting this and then placing in the ride afterwards because that is the easiest and it makes the most sense. Now, you're going to want to dig this pretty much all the way around the park towards this corner here, and again, one block away from the edge, you're going to want to turn. And I'd recommend watching the whole entire video before you begin working on this, partly because I may go over some tips later in the video that may be relevant to you. For example, as you can see, we're coming up here on this roller coaster here. And if I had my, I'm going to fill this with water real quick to demonstrate. If I pick up my Swan Boats ride and I place it down, it will not allow me to build through this roller coaster. So I'm going to be showing how to get around this and how to get around other things after I dig out this entire area. One point I do want to make though is I'm not 100% sure how far this needs to go. I do know that you do not need to have these expansion plots, the Game Pass ones, in order to make this work. So if you don't have them, you're going to want to go to, I believe, oops, that's the water block, one block away. Although if that doesn't work, you could always dig out this row and try it here because it will let me place water there. I don't know honestly if it'll let people without the Game Pass place water there. And if you have this Game Pass, either you will have to calculate it out to this block or you'll have to go all the way around. I'm not 100% sure. If you do know, please write that down in the comments and I will pin your comment if you have the answer to that. Now I'm going to finish digging this all the way out, and then I am going to see you when I'm done to show you how to get around roller coasters and how to build this actual ride. So let's skip right ahead until I'm done. Alright, so one thing I was noticing as I was going around, I got really close and I did turn on disable collisions because it was not letting me dig right under this piece of coaster, so you may have to remove this coaster area, which I will go over in a minute. It did not let me remove this piece right here because it cannot add water at this target cell, because water will leak through sideways. I cannot tell exactly why that is, but one thing you may end up having to do, which the game will allow me to do since I have disabled collisions on currently, to build through this Swan right here, is to fill in this little area, or not. Alright, so I can remove the water and then I can place in the blocks, although I don't know if this matters that much. And now it will allow me to dig through this area, but real quick I do want to check if there's anything I've messed up on. Nope, the water does work perfectly fine. Okay, so that was just it will not let you place it diagonally. Good to know. Now we can move on. Alright, so now we're approaching the first obstacle, which is this little path downward. So if you have a money farm like mine, great design by the way, it's made by Springboard with a 0 instead of an O. I'll put their link in the description, because this is an amazing disable collisions money farm. You will have to get around this, because obviously you can't place water and flood all this stuff. See, it won't let you, because the item path is in the way and tons of other items are in the way down there. So what you may have to do is temporarily remove some of these paths. It will slightly throw off the way that your money farm or whatever works, but you can always go back and fix it later. Another way you could get around coasters and similar things is by just going underground, and that is actually how I did my first version of this ride. Is I went completely underground and went around the park that way. Now, my problem was I accidentally built it down on this block. I went down on this block, dug around the whole way like here, and then when I tried to fill it with water, as you can see, it didn't let me. So what I ended up having to do is dig out these blocks and then dig it one down so that I could still place water, because as you can see I can place water in there, but I cannot place water up at this level. So that was mildly annoying to do, and that's part of why I'm making this video. One, so that other people don't make the same mistakes I did, and two, so I never have to do it ever again. I don't have to ever help anyone, because people ask me for help on this achievement because it's not particularly an easy achievement. People ask me for help, and I don't want to help because this took way too long to do that other time. I'm doing it one time now. I'm never doing it again. I'm just telling people, watch this freaking video, okay? So, yeah, that's why I'm making this video. Anyway, we're going to want to fill this with water. And alright, so we do have the issue item seal coaster in the way. We're going to have to fix that, so I'm going to go walk over there and check that out. Alright, now we are over here at the area I am assuming is the offending area. As you can see, this part of the coaster kind of clips into the ground, and it kind of is in this block here. I believe it's this red one that is causing the problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the ride, edit it, selected piece, and I'm just going to remove this one piece. If you don't want to remove the entire ride, this can often be a good solution, since you can always just go back, place that piece back, or edit here, and then go into Advanced Editor, and click the snap button, and it should rebuild that piece. Now I'm going to check to see if I can place water, and I still cannot. So this may be this other piece here, and it may be difficult to know where you were building, so you could figure out a way to mark it, or you could just tweak the coaster a little bit. It probably won't have too big of an impact. Although if you do want to avoid this, you could build it underground or build it in a completely different area. I am also going to have to do it to this coaster right here, since this one also goes in the way of the Swan boats ride. But first I'm going to see, can I place down the water? No, I cannot. Alright, it may be this coaster or it may be over there, because I have not fully tested this, and I did have disabled collisions earlier. Oops, that's the wrong part of the coaster. I'm just gonna sneak away a few of those pieces. This should be clear now. And I am going to delete these trees to get them out of the way since the swan boats will not be able to go through it. And I'm going to go over to here, test the water, edit here, and remove a few pieces. Obviously, this is one way you could get the coasters out of the way. The other, simpler, semi-simpler one would be to remove the coaster entirely. But I'm sure you wouldn't want to do that for a big, amazing coaster. Alright, so this still isn't working. I'm going to see if I can find the issue and sort that out in 1 second. Alright, so I fixed the steel coaster issue. That was just my money farm underground. I did end up having to double layer the terrain underneath the one block. I set it to 2. I put it 2 blocks of terrain space under where the water goes, and now it says item swan boats in the way. Now I believe this is the only swan boats currently in my park, so I am going to have to sadly remove this. But it is okay. I will have to remove everything in this park eventually, so it's not that big of a deal. Now, will it let me place the water? It will. Amazing. Now, obviously, even though that didn't fix my steel coaster issue, it may have fixed one of these steel coasters. Who knows? But we will have to. You would have had to delete some of this, and I may have to delete more while building the swan boats to make it completely work. Anyway, I am going to begin building water ride, swan boats, and I do not believe this has to be opened, although you will have enough room to place in the entrance and exit on this side, and you won't have to worry about getting the guests over the track at all, because obviously you could just now hop on the ride and it'll automatically go. And there's a helicopter outside and it's being loud and annoying. Shut up, helicopter. You're annoying me. Alright. So, obviously you're going to want to build a bit of a station and then just spam these pieces. Now, I'm running into a bit of an issue here with this coaster. I know that I will be running into another bit of an issue over there with this section of the coaster, and I don't really care about this one, so I am just going to remove it. Although, as you saw over there, you can obviously just close, edit a selected piece. I'm going to have to go back a few bits, remove this one, remove this one, and then when you want to fix it, you can obviously go into edit, go to advanced editor or basic editor depending on how you built it. I am just going to drag this over here and you can place it back in, and this may actually fix it. If you use advanced editor pieces, you may be able to trim it down a little bit, so you might be able to make it fit. And advanced editor, you can actually, I believe you can use this to make it go a little bit quicker. I'm just going to use basic editor just to be safe. And no, sadly you cannot. Sadly, this did not work with this coaster, but advanced editor can be a way to trim a coaster's track to keep it still running while you are building this ride. But I am going to delete this coaster since I don't really care about it, and I know it will impact me up there. Now, I'm obviously going to go back into editing, spam in some pieces until we get to this corner. Now, obviously, I started out going this way, so I'm going to need to turn left, right? If you started going the other way, you'd have to turn right, because that's how turning and directions work. Pretty simple stuff. Should have learned it in preschool or kindergarten or sometime early on, so I hope that you all know that. Anyway, you might think, oh, just use these turns, right? Yeah, but you can't build it with this. And also, these do not actually work for the ride, for the achievement. So what you're going to want to do is build one more until you're right up here. Then you're going to click this More Pieces tab. Some people don't know about it, so I'm just making sure everyone knows about it. There's this More Pieces tab down here on the basic editor. You can choose Sharp Turn Left or Sharp Turn Right. Make sure it's turning in the direction you want, and you can place that down. And it will be a one block turn. This is only available on certain things, but it is available on coasters such as the spinning coaster, this ride, It is available on things like the, what's it called? The Vintage Cars and Dark Ride, and I believe it's also on the Wild Mouse coaster. And every coaster and every ride has this More Pieces tab where you can go in, look at these pieces that you can use. Some of them can get pretty insane for some of the roller coasters, but some others just have a simple menu, such as this. And again, I'm going to do a sharp turn left, and I am going to continue building this all the way around the park, and I will see you once I am done. Oh, okay, so I do actually have to trim this part of the track a little bit, so I'm just going to exit out of this. I am going to have to snipe that all the way over there. Edit track selected piece, obviously, as I've already explained how you can use this. And go over and delete the offending pieces. And then you can just select the Swan boats from any point on the ride and edit at the end of the segment, and it'll bring you straight to here, where you can then start placing down your track pieces again. Now we're nearly to the end. Oh, one more piece I have to fix there. Just gonna edit here, remove there, and Swan boats. End of the segment. All right. Now I'm just gonna keep placing this in. Obviously, gonna go and sharp turn, and then just finish this all the way up until it gets all the way to the end. And we're nearly there. All right. Now, I believe that just running this through once in testing will get you the achievement. You will have to wait a while for, as you can see, if I put this into testing, it does take a while for them to go around. If you have the Operations Game Pass like I did when I made this coaster, and as I do now, you can set the track speed to 500%, and whoop, it'll go a lot faster. So that's just to cut down on the waiting time, although you could just wait and keep on going with your park. Obviously, once you're done with it, you could place back in these pieces, fix back up your park however you need to do, or if you built it underground, you could just delete the ride, keep the ride there, like I did for my park, is just sitting underground, and fix up anything you have. So I'm going to be removing this, and obviously if you have any questions, post them in the comments just so I can see them. That would help a lot because I can help you, and any of you can help each other by posting answers to each other's questions in the comments. That's the beauty of the comment section. It's a place where people help each other, hopefully. I hope. Don't be mean to each other in the comments. But anyway, that's all I have for the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, you could check out my other videos. I make videos occasionally, and yeah. These guests now hate my park since they've been trapped underground for a while. As I said, thanks for watching. You can subscribe if you want, like if you want. I don't really care. Bye.